It's hella black. You know, still after dark. You feel me? Still rocking. You feel me?
We just had Raquel on. I told B, fuck it, I feel like recording some more. This isn't going to be the normal Hella Black podcast that you get. Or maybe it is. But for me, there's not much intent behind this. I just wanted to talk. I wanted to vent. So I guess this is Hella Black therapy. Because I'm finna just talk. I don't really care.
Shout out to therapy.
I don't care if people like it. But I'm such an authentic person. I'm such a real person that something I say is going to resonate with somebody in this segment, however long we choose to talk. I had a wild day today, bro.
Talk on about it, bro.
It's been a wild week, honestly. I'm at a point in time where all the things that I'm a part of are calling for my full attention. Everything that I do, whether it's music, whether it's my 9 to 5.
Hella Black. People's Breakfast, Oakland.
People's Breakfast. Being a brother, a cousin, an uncle, you know, a nephew, grandson, whatever it is, son. All these things are starting to demand parts of me. And I'm just trying to juggle all this shit, bro. Today I had 2 presentations at work, and they weren't super long presentations. Like one was a 30-minute presentation. Then I had like a 5 to 7 minute presentation that was a part of an hour-long meeting. And you know, like when you're the youngest and the blackest nigga in the room amongst
100% pure African.
When you 100% of African descent, you know, and you in a room full of white folks and non-black POC, it's a difficult feeling, bro. I know you've been there before, right? Especially like when you have to, you know, I feel like some meetings feel more important than others, and those are the ones where when I'm expected to perform and expected to relay certain amounts of information and to get my point across, those are the meetings in which I feel the most pressure. Like there are some meetings I have when I can just talk, you know, and I'm like just offering perspective. When it's like, yo, I need to convince people of this and I need people to believe in this and what I'm working on. Those are the meetings where I feel a little anxious before. Like,
yeah, especially, I don't know, knowing us and me knowing you, like everything you do, I feel like you just want to do it 100%, you know, like, and I feel like we're both very self-critical of everything that we do as well, too. So it's like we expect the most out of ourselves, which also kind of feeds like the inner critique, you know. I feel like for myself, like even after the podcast that we did in LA, it's like I'm thinking, oh, I could have said this better. Oh, I could have done this better. Oh, I could have done this better. And I'm in my head while having conversations with people that wanted to talk to me after the podcast.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm over here in my head tripping about things that I should have done better. You know, and I'm the only one thinking about it when, you know, probably when you're in those meetings and after the meetings, you know, even though you probably did hella good, you probably after the end of the meeting might be thinking like, oh shit, I could have done this, I could have done that, you know?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. And that's a feeling that I don't like a lot. I don't like when I leave a space, especially a space where I was taking up space and I was talking and I was presenting and I was trying to get a point across. I don't like when I leave somewhere and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to say this. I don't know. My thing is like, and I had a conversation with Khadijah, and for those that don't, I bring Khadijah's name a lot on this podcast, and I think that's a testament to the impact that she's had on me.
Shout out Khadijah.
Yeah, y'all should
she's
follow
for sure
her.
Help me out through a lot of
what's Khadijah's
shit in my life. Special K,
but she spells it. Let me see. It's Special K, but like double O or some shit.
I don't know. If you want to find what her ad is, just DM one of us and we'll give you her ad. Special K.
It's Special K 00 at the end. But yeah. Anyway, I had this conversation with Khadijah and I was telling her the pressure that I feel whenever I speak to say something profound. And she was asking, is that something that people that have listened to me speak voiced afterwards, or is that something I project and something that I like own myself? And that's definitely something. It's more of, you know, the latter. It's not what people expect of me. It's what I expect of myself. And I just feel like when I'm in spaces that are predominantly white and, you know, older, I feel like so much of my worth is attached to the value that I can add to a room just based on what I say.
And the shit we can produce. But I think what I'm also realizing is at least for myself, that a lot of my biggest inner critique, especially in a professional work setting, comes from my experience being a professional athlete, or not being a professional athlete, but being like a, you know, like a top tier athlete. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So like growing up, literally playing sports from age 5 to age 22, 23, Like, as an athlete, you're so used to being critiqued on everything. Like, you put the fucking dumbbell back, the wrong way in the fucking rack, you're getting critiqued. So I noticed for myself when I was entering the professional world, I was like, I was almost craving critique. I found myself like, all right, did I do this right? Did I do this wrong? Like, why aren't you telling me what I did right or what I did wrong?
Is it critique or validation?
I feel like I was craving critique almost. I was like, not critique.
So you wanted to be told that you did something wrong or how you could do something better.
Yeah, or how I could do it better.
Not necessarily. So I feel like validation is being told that you did this the way you thought you did.
Good job. No, it was not about a good job. It was more like, how can you do better? So because especially as an athlete, it's like you're always like critiquing yourself how you can do better. Mm-hmm. Even if, like, especially me, going to De La Salle, bro, we would win games 65-0. And our coach would be in there ripping our ass, like, on fucking film, So, like, I grew up in that environment, and then playing rugby at Cal, like, beating teams 100-0, and then, like, literally being in film the next day, and the coach is just being on your shit, like, oh, you should have done this, oh, you should have done that, oh, you should have done this. So, for me, like, after stopping sports and then going into a professional world, I was like, that same like dynamic didn't exist, Mm-hmm. And I was so used to that dynamic, especially like if you think about it in sports, it's like all our coaches were men, mm-hmm. And then like, not having that same aspect, right? Or like that same like hyper masculine type of coach type shit in the professional world. I don't know. Am I making sense?
No, you definitely, bro. I definitely feel where you're coming from. Something that popped into my mind when you were saying it was like, well, nigga, we've kind of been detached from sports for a couple years now. Like, how long until, like, are we consciously accepting this a part of our DNA, or like, is there something we can do to unlearn this and process this and work through it? Because I don't want to keep putting all this pressure on myself. But also, there's another part to it where I talk to folks that didn't play sports that feel the same things that I feel. So how much of it is actually related to sports?
Yeah.
Because I know folks that haven't played an ounce of sports, an ounce of organized team activity, and they still feel that pressure to be, well, I guess it doesn't matter the cause. It's really just the end result. Like, that need for approval, that need for validation, and also the desire to be, like, I just have the desire to be my very best self. And I also have this vision of what I can be and whatever's going to take me to be there. And I think in the past, it's criticism and critique that has pushed me to the next level, So that's why I think that's why a lot of times we crave that. But I'm also, I'm always curious, like, how big of a role sports and shit actually played in that.
Yeah. I feel like, at least for myself, I mean, it can exist in different ways too, right? So I think people can grow up not playing sports and do something else but still have that similar type of environment. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think for me, the first thing I think about is sports. Like, right when I, stopped playing and was just, going into the workforce or whatever the fuck you want to call this 9-to-5 shit, was like, all right, how do I have feedback? Like, can I have feedback? I feel weird. Like, I felt like I wasn't doing my job because I didn't have feedback yet.
Yeah. It's fuck. The thought just skipped my head. It was something I want to talk to you about. Another thought that just came into my head. Since this is hella black rumbling, for dinner we can go hella black mumbling, hella black off the brain, off the dome,
off the top.
Yesterday I was thinking about something. You had texted me about planning the next breakfast program, and I was like, I'm out of town that next week, that weekend, and then possibly like the rest of the month, right? And I've been thinking, and I told you, like, I don't want it to stop because of me. And it was, that led to me having some other thoughts that I have been thinking about over the course of like the last couple of months, and it's just like something I've been dealing with and trying to process and understand, or like work through and I guess reach a conclusion is, the desire, that struggle that so many, because I feel like so many of the organizers I know are also creatives, right? And I'm at a place in my life right now where my creative career is taking off, whether it be the podcast or music, but I'm dealing with this internal battle of trying to figure out what does organizing look like for me the more I progress as a creative, with the more success that I see, because I was just gone for like I've spent more time away from the Bay than I have here over the last month, right? So whether it's tour, whether it's meetings or like shooting a video or something, I can end up being gone for days at a time. And I'm trying to figure out what does my grassroots organizing look like as my career takes off.
Yeah. Nah, you tweeted something about that today, right?
Or like maybe yesterday or something. Yeah.
Nah, I remember seeing it and like trying to reflect on what you were saying. Because I feel the same thing. I'm like, how do I push the podcast? But I mean, in a way, this podcast is a form of like organizing in terms of like political education, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is labor. This is like we trying to spread politics. That's why we started this. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, how do we? But then I'm also like, fuck, bro, we haven't done the breakfast program for like a month because of, you know, hell different other things that are going on in our lives too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, but part of it is, I don't know, especially with the way we speak, you feel me, and the truth that we hold, like we hold a radical vision for what society should look like.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, and in order to like make change in this society, is like, bro, you have to have a platform and like money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I look at like the shit that we're both doing in different aspects, it's like we have to build this platform up, even though at times we don't like having, you know, a platform, you know?
Yeah. Like
at times it's been weird. We're like, oh, somebody recognized us for the podcast, like this, you know? But when I think about it, I look at people who have platforms about the shit about Black Lives Matter or whatever. They ain't really tapped in like the way we tapped in. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that like black radical people, whether we're talking about us or anybody else, it's like if black radicals are starting to get bigger and bigger in terms of platforms, I'm all for it. And we kind of have to, you know, and that looks like different sacrifices. Like we have to play a role, and it's not just about us. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like People's Breakfast Oakland, like, yeah, we may have started it, but at this point it's become bigger than us. You feel me?
Yeah, and
like it's like we don't have to do every single task, and we don't have to put that burden of every single task on us, right? And it's about the organization. You feel me? Like it's bigger than us. It's bigger than Hella Black. It's bigger than People's Breakfast Oakland. You feel me? The organizations are always gonna outlive people, and I feel like that's why I fuck with the shit that like People's Breakfast Oakland. I feel like if both of us weren't at the program, that shit could still run,
and it should, honestly.
And it should.
Yeah. And that was my point to where I was saying that shit like, bro, I don't want to keep putting it off because I can't be there. Yeah. Or because you can't be there, you know?
Right. Because I feel like at least the way we hold each other accountable to is going to be like, if we're not there, it's like we're pushing, like we still pushing the politics wherever we go. I feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
I live the politics.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like when you live this shit, even if you're not, you know, in the field every day, you feel me? It's like, this is the shit we live, so it's like we're tapping into different avenues. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think about all the support that People's Breakfast Oakland has gotten has come from this podcast, has come from like my platform on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the money we have raised has come from Twitter. If I didn't have a platform on Twitter, like, you feel me? Like, yeah. I don't know if people would be tapping in with People's Breakfast Oakland. Like, I get a lot of people like, oh, I listen to podcasts. How can I tap in with People's Breakfast Oakland? You feel me?
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like both of it is interlinked. You feel me?
Yeah, I think a lot about when people say there's everyone plays a role in the movement. And, you know, we might just be seeing a point in time where our role is shifting. You know, I don't want to just.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I'm cool with the role shifting, but I also want to make sure that the purpose, the intent, and the passion is still there, you know? Like, I feel like it's easy. I talked about it at the live podcast. It's easy to get caught up in the fame, especially right now since, like, organizing is something that's popular and it's something that's been monetized and shit, you know? Is monetized what I'm looking for?
Yeah. Commodify,
yeah. Yeah, I just don't want to fall into one of those people. I don't want to become one of those people that we've been so critical of. And I think the fact that we're thinking about it is what will prevent us from being those folks. Because I feel like the folks who do have the opportunity to commodify the movement and be put at the forefront while not having to suffer the burden of any of the folks that actually, you know, being oppressed and marginalized or falling victim to the state. I don't think this is a perspective that many of them have. I don't think they take that time to sit back and reflect, or maybe they do and they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but I know I'm not that type of person. And that's why I think,
especially at this time for us, you feel me? Like we just coming off of a show, you know, in LA, a region that we're both not from, you know, like, and we had a show out there, got paid to have a show out there, you know, like, I think it's important that we have these conversations too, you know, like, and I think the fact that we're both critical, and even we said it when we were there at the podcast, is like, oh, this should feel a little bit weird, like, you know, getting paid to do something that we had no intention of getting paid for. I still remember when you first hit me like, oh, I'm trying to start a podcast, you know, back in like student organizing type days. And I was like, yeah, like initially I didn't think this was going to be my lane. I was like, yeah, I'll be behind the scenes. You run the podcast, you interview people, you're a journalist. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? So
I be forgetting all about that, bro. Like,
and that was the beginning of it. Like, bro, thinking about like the intentions that we had was never to make money, but was to spread politics.
I really just wanted to talk to people about the importance. I really just wanted to tell important stories.
And we was both just like thinking about our lives back then. It's like, fuck, nigga, I just finished school. I was still in school. You know, job. You know, I didn't have a job at a certain point. You know, and like. It's crazy. It's not crazy.
That's also a reflection that I haven't had, bro. Like even hitting you, like, damn, I want to do this podcast shit. And I don't even know what sparked it. I don't know if it was after I came back from New York, or I don't know. Yeah, I think it might have been after I visited my homie Adam in New York, and he was like, he was really popping with the podcast shit. Like I can remember just being like, yo, this is another avenue for me to tell stories.
Yeah. And just think about like shit, our relationship too. We've gotten closer since then too.
Oh, you know? It's impossible to spend this much time with someone and to have these kind of like deep, intimate conversations and to not develop a stronger bond, bro. Like I feel like that's just kind of synonymous with the kind of work that we do.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's important. We talk about this all the time. It's definitely important to like build relationships with the folks that you're gonna be doing. Like this is war, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's something we talked about the podcast is like someone asked a question about like how do we stop gentrification, and I was like, yeah, you know, we just got to strap up, you feel me? Like, but then I was like, you know, hold up, like actually it's about building relationships, you know, because I think even today I was like reflecting, you know, I went to therapy and just talking about shit in therapy and then coming home and reflecting, and I'm like, I'm thinking about activism, I'm thinking about all the student organizing I did, you know, because I was doing hell with student organizing.
Yeah.
Why that shit was traumatic, if I'm going to keep it a band with you. And a lot of the people who I looked up to at the time, who were the OGs or whatever, the older guys, whatever, like I realized the advice that they gave me wasn't cool. It was more so what can they get out of me and the talents that I have to serve their movement. But it wasn't about actually building meaningful relationships.
Yeah.
You know?
I experienced that same shit in music, bro. Like early on, a lot of the mentorship that I had, it was exploitation disguised as I'm sorry, I couldn't find the word. It was exploitation disguised as mentorship, bro. It was like a lot of niggas wanted to just jump on what's hot and figure out how they can get a percentage of what we got going on. And like I said, bro, it's just I'm blessed, like I'm fortunate enough, lucky enough, whatever words you want to use, to come from a very corporate background. Like I've worked in corporate settings, so I understand how businesses function, and I also know what it looks like when somebody is trying to get a PCO pie. I just know what it looks like, and that's just not even from corporate. That's from street shit too. But yeah, to your point of like seeing motherfuckers who just want to use you for their own agenda, to push their own politics, to push their own shit. I can't hear myself either, bro. I can't hear myself. Which one did you turn, the right one or the left one?
You hear now?
Yeah.
I was just trying to put this full.
I don't know why I couldn't hear myself.
If I turn my gain down, I think it turns up both.
Why?
Both of them.
Because it's like the master one or some shit.
Yeah.
We should go into the Guitar Center
with this, or get a new interface.
I mean, and just figure out this whole shit. Like, do we need a new interface? I'm sure a new interface isn't that expensive.
Nah,
like
I mean,
100 or something maybe.
Like a couple hundred.
We should do it. Whatever we need to get top tier. We've already started, you know? Like, we've already laid the foundation for the shit.
Yeah, and even this right now, it's like the quality is pretty fucking spot on. You know, even when we played back Raquel's interview that we just did, like the quality was spot on. So even like for real, if we didn't explain like how frustrated we were in the beginning, I don't think nobody would have had idea of the shit that we went through.
For someone that's so,
you know,
I mean, I'm speaking for myself. For someone that can persevere through so much, I get so frustrated with the little things,
bro.
I get hella frustrated.
Me too.
Hella,
bro. That's why I was trying to figure like. I really, like, when I came home from today, the first thing I did was open all this shit and put it out and test it because I knew I would get frustrated if something didn't work out, and I had a feeling something was going to happen. And then I know that we both began frustrated, so I'm like, if both of us are frustrated, that means two niggas in one room that they're not thinking.
I'm always ready to just walk away from some shit. Like, I shut down when I get angry.
Me too, and it's a protective mechanism.
Yeah,
because
it's like
if I get angry, I'm like, I'm not trying to, like, you know, fucking punch
me shutting down is what's
wall.
in the best interest for people around me and myself. Like,
hello, he can say
I'm
that.
just gonna shut down. I'm gonna go home and go to bed.
I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Yeah, it's in the best interest of me and everyone around me.
I'm finna tap in with my headspace, you know, and I'm getting flustered.
Man, you saw that Kobe Bryant teamed up with Headspace recently?
For real?
Yeah. He started this new. I don't know if it's a school or a training facility. It's called the Mamba Academy.
Yeah.
And you know, Kobe's hella big into meditation. Phil Jackson got him onto that. Phil Jackson is the coach with the Lakers and also the Bulls. He won like
hella champion. He
11
got
championships or some shit like that.
Damn,
he got 6.
Fingers
he got 11.
Shit.
He got 6 with the Bulls and 5 with the Lakers.
He got 10 rings and he got 1 pinky ring on his little toe.
Yeah. So he put all his players on the meditation. But anyway, Kobe just teamed up with
the Mamba Academy and Headspace.
And it's about building not only physically strong athletes but mentally strong. I saw that you had done like hella days straight. When I went to New York, my streak broke. So, bro, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. But I just meditated it again for the first time in like 10 days. I meditated last night. I did one of the sleep meditations, bro. It was like I had to move my legs to make sure my shit didn't shut down. Because I could feel every extremity just shutting off. Like my toes, my ankles, my calves,
I do the sleep one almost
knees,
every night.
My thighs, my hips. I was like, oh, fuck, nigga. Am I like mentally paralyzing myself? It was wild, bro.
And that's wild that your mind is so powerful to do that, you know? But that shit, I'm 264 in a row.
Yeah, I wanted to do a year, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you gonna bounce back. But
I'm on 1 day right now.
Hey, each day is a new day.
I got up to like 190 or some shit.
Yeah, I never thought I'd make it to 264, bro. This is like, I was talking about in therapy today. I was like, my therapist is like, what do you do when you feel like you're not in control of your life? And I said, I meditate and I go to the gym. Because those are two like instant things that I could do to like feel like I'm in control of my life. Like last night, anxiety, depression kicking in. And I'm like, all right, what can I do because I know how I'm feeling right now and I know where these feelings and like these thoughts can take me. Like these thoughts can take me down a different path that I don't want to be on. You feel me? Yeah. So I'm like, all right, fuck, get your ass up. Like, you know, force myself to get up, went to the gym, sat in the hot tub after. And I was like, all right, I feel better. And I came home, fell asleep, you know?
I haven't been to the gym in a minute, bro.
For real?
It's been so cold. I've been so sluggish. I just been drinking hella water and eating hella fruits. Like, I haven't had any energy to go to the gym, bro. I've been tired as hell.
Yeah.
And I went to the gym, I think, like last Sunday. And I did this intense-ass workout.
This nigga's like, I haven't been to the gym, but I went on Sunday. Nigga, it's Tuesday.
But before that, I hadn't been to the gym in forever.
All right.
So maybe last Friday I went to the gym.
Yeah.
And before that, I hadn't been to the gym in like a week. Yeah, bro, it's super frustrating because I have this thing where like I'm so strong mentally. I'll just do whatever workout I left out on them. Like, you know, say if I've been going to the gym for a month straight, then I take a week break. Whatever I got myself in condition for a month, and then I let go for a week, and I was drinking, I was eating, right? I'll just throw myself back into the fire, and I always end up like hurting myself some type of way. So right now I'm on EMOMs, right, and that's like every minute on the minute. So I do push-ups every minute on the minute, like 20 minutes, and I'll do like sets of. Yesterday I did sets of 15, but my chest and shit was super sore. So today I did sets of 10. Yeah, so I'm just trying to. I'm trying to figure out as I get older, like what does being in shape look like to me? Because I follow so many fitness pages, right? Because I've always been a fitness person. I played football for 15 years, always been into that shit. But I'm starting to realize, like, bro, I work at a desk or at a computer or in an office
40 hours a week.
Sometimes even more than that. You know, I got a desk in my room now.
Yeah,
So
I peeped.
I go home and I work, bro. Like I was working before I got here. So my lifestyle is not one of a trainer. These niggas that be in shape the way that they be in shape, they train for a living. So for me, I need to realize, okay, what adjustments do I need to make to my eating habits to be in the kind of shape that I want to be in, because I don't have the time to work out the way I want to work out. I can't dedicate more than 50 minutes to a workout because I live a very intellectual lifestyle, and that intellectual work taps you out just as fast, if not faster, than the physical shit does, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
Like after, we just talked about that, after a long day of talking and meetings all day, nigga be burnt out.
I mean, shit. That's part of the reason why I feel like we get a bottle.
Yeah.
Is to damn near just relax off of the day.
Yeah.
And to be, I don't know, at least my mind, I'm like, your mind feels so burnt out after being in a meeting. Sometimes I'm teaching, having office hours, you know, going through papers, grading papers, you know, and it's like coming home, then have a podcast, or like, you know, it's I mean, your brain is like your strongest muscle, you know, in my opinion. Is it a muscle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be working on my brain every day. But I don't know. Shit wild.
Yeah, right now I'm just one of those times in my day, my life, where I'm just tired, bro. I'm just trying to maintain. I'm just trying to keep doing really good work because I need the bills paid. Yeah. I'm tired right now, my nigga, no lie.
Me too. But one thing I realized, like I was talking to this nigga Kels, and I was, you know, we were talking about like, bruh, we've been so focused on surviving for so long that sometimes we forget to live in the moment and like realize that shit, we ain't even surviving no more. Nigga, we thriving, bro.
In some ways, because I'm not mentally thriving, nigga.
Me either, bro.
In a capitalistic society, I'm thriving because, you know, I got enough money for my bills and shit. I can eat what I want to when I want to, but nigga, for the most part, nigga, mentally going through a lot of shit.
Me too, bro. Me too. And it's wild because it's like, I think growing up, you know, always thinking about like what can I do? I never thought about like internal peace or happiness inside of me. I always thought about, all right, bruh, I'm finna make, you know, how much this money, and everything gonna be cool. And now that I'm at the point where I'm making money, paying my bills, you feel me? Got a fucking motorcycle that I've always wanted. Like I have, I guess, some of the capitalistic shit that I've wanted to have. And I'm realizing, yo, like my mental state is still kind of like, I mean, I'm, you know, the strongest I've ever been, but I still like mentally be going through shit despite having the things that I've always dreamed for and manifested. You feel me?
I mean, I don't know what peace looks like for a broke nigga either, because I've been broke and ain't no peace in that shit. I've been hungry. Ain't no peace in that shit. So it's like, I'd rather have money
and not have peace.
I'd rather have money and be stressing than have no money and be stressing.
Oh, yeah.
Because at least I can still clothe and house and feed myself.
Right. But I always thought that the money, I don't know, the money would come with internal peace. And I'm realizing more and more that, like, that ain't the case.
Yeah, I don't think I ever thought that, like, I knew that I had some things that money couldn't solve within me just because I didn't come across no money until I was like 24 or 25 years old, right? So I knew that some of the issues that I had would, because I would have money in spurts, right? Like there would be times where I'd be doing a bunch of stories and shit be good for me. I'm paying all my bills, I'm eating, I could do that, but I would still have some problems. So once I figured that out, once I had steady food and all this shit, and I realized I still have some problems, I said, okay, there's not an amount of money that I can get. Like some of these, a lot of the problems I have aren't rooted in money. Well, I don't know. Like if I think about it, so like this desire to succeed, I think I want to succeed so much. I think a lot of that is rooted in money. I'm trying to see, because there's also been studies that have been done. Like there's no difference between a nigga that makes like $700,000 a year and a nigga that makes $500 million. Like after a certain amount of money you make, there's no difference in happiness. Like that's what studies have shown. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the problems that I have I don't know, a lot of the anxieties I have, right? Like what scares me right now? I think losing my job scares me because I don't necessarily have enough money to save up to live, you know? So maybe I think if I did have like $50 million, I wouldn't be stressing.
Yeah. I'll be thinking about that same thing too. I'm just like, you know.
Because you wouldn't be worried about losing your job. You wouldn't be worried about performing.
Amount of money, nigga, like, money don't buy happiness, but it
buy comfort. Shit.
And like, if I think about shit that provides me comfort,
the shit buy comfort like a motherfucker. These are facts.
Yeah.
Fucking comfort.
Cause money I don't know. Fuck capitalism. At the end of the day, fuck that motherfucking nigga. We can square up right now. Like, if that nigga capitalism walk through the door, bruh, I'm shooting. But I don't know. It's wild.
When we gonna drop this episode, bro?
Probably we gonna drop the one with Raquel on Monday, and then this one on the next Monday. Like, damn, we gonna hit like 3 Mondays in a row. That's wild, bro. We ain't ever done that.
That's lit.
How you feeling?
Though.
Yeah.
Let's end this motherfucker. Shout out to all the listeners.
Yeah, we didn't have no extended Patreon exclusive, but I'm gonna just upload this motherfucker like for the people who subscribe for the exclusives next week, so you get this shit. And I'm gonna upload this for the extended people or who get the episodes early. I'm gonna upload this like tomorrow or damn near right now. You feel me? So that's why you should tap in with Patreon. Fuck with us on SoundCloud. Fuck with us on iTunes. You know, we on that motherfucker Hell Black Podcast. Subscribe, 5 stars, and if you white and you listen to this motherfucker, I need you to pay the fuck up and all them dead presidents, because I know you have some white people dead on some money, so you niggas need to pay the fuck up. Goodbye.
Facts.